Hey guys, hope everybody's doing well. I have had one hell of a week, so it's just been one thing after another, and I have a pretty big position in Algorand, and I am down. And since the SEC chair has announced that they're coming after Bittrex and named ALGO as a security for these sales, iTrustCapital's liquidity partners stopped trading ALGO. So I have family members with bags of ALGO and iTrustCapital that they're unable to trade. It's been a super tough almost 600 days in this bear market for a variety of altcoins, especially for ALGO. From the registered all-time high at $2.50, we crashed 93%, still down about 92% today. In this video, I'm going to talk about ALGO. I want to talk about some comparisons between price charts, but keep in mind, this is not financial advice. I'm not happy with the market whatsoever, especially if the SEC does come after ALGO. The risk 100% exists. Now, do I believe that Algorand is a legitimate project? Do I believe it can get regulatory clarity and win and actually get settlement? Yes. But do I want to wait that long? Absolutely not. So please decide for yourselves, guys. We're going to start this video off going over the fundamentals, some funding, and things behind the project that caught my attention, especially Gary Gensler basically giving a green stamp of approval and now coming after ALGO. So we're going to go over that, then I'm going to go over the price charts side by side, and I just want to compare what assets have done and their performance versus ALGO sitting at these lows. And keep in mind, when the XRP lawsuit came to be back in 2020, it saw a big dump. And then after that, even during a lawsuit versus the SEC, thanks to the bull run, it crashed down to 17 cents, closing an open gap, and then it still rallied 10x up to the April 2021 high. So if anybody doesn't want to risk it in Algorand, I completely get it. I'm leaving my holdings. I'm not happy with it. This whole thing with Gary Gensler seems really fishy to me, but please be open-minded that if you have ALGO on an exchange or open trades, if the SEC comes directly at ALGO, they could stop and scare a lot of exchanges from offering it. So trading could be stopped on a variety of exchanges and there is absolutely risk. So please decide for yourselves. The SEC and Gary claim they are here for investor protection to protect retail investors that are not sophisticated. That is complete garbage. It's been over 2 years for the XRP lawsuit. Gary has no intention in providing clarity for the market. The SEC takes advantage of this market that is still nascent and has a lot of potential. They're focused on regulatory overreach and running this like a mafia. If there's no clarity, there are no guidelines. They win because there's ambiguity. There's no certainty, so they can do whatever they want. They chase all the innovators out of the United States to go elsewhere. It's a complete joke. We need a new SEC chair. Now, when XRP was delisted on a variety of US-based exchanges, trading was still available on other exchanges. So please be careful if you have ALGO or open trades with ALGO on a US-based exchange, whether that be Coinbase, maybe Uphold, Binance US, anything. Please be careful. I know that KuCoin for XRP still allowed trading, so I'm looking at other venues for trading if I have ALGO. And I'm going to take the risk. I will be holding in drawdown. I will be holding for the long term. Every single retail crypto holder that has had to deal with this nonsense for the past 2 years, you have my respect. It has been absolutely tough. I can't believe what the SEC is doing. It's like we're living in a movie. Just listening to the leaders in office speak, it's like we're living in the Truman Show. But anyways, let's kick it off. We'll dive into ALGO.
Governance is tough. You could create Uber or Lyft on top of a blockchain technology today. Well, maybe in 5 years you could. It would have the performance. Sylvia McCally's Algorand, who's a Turing Award winner at MIT that I work with. Sylvia's got a great technology that has the performance. You could create Uber on top of it.
Hey, what's up guys? Kevin Cage here with another crypto update. Hope everybody's doing well. Just dropped the in-laws off at the airport, so I am back, and I wanted to do a long video going over Algorand and the token ALGO, because there's been a lot going on regarding the SEC, and we want to discuss the project high level, some of the partnerships. Does it have ample funding to survive, and what could we be seeing in the future? So once again, this is not financial advice, just wanted to do a big ALGO video. So I hope you find this interesting, and full disclosure, I do have a bias today because I still hold ALGO. I first bought it back in 2019 when it was listed on Binance US. So I'll do my best to give a high-level overview of Algorand. If there's any important information I'm missing, please comment down below, and let's kick it off. Okay, so first up, that first clip we shared of Gary Gensler when he was an MIT professor, and those videos are available on YouTube as well, basically saying that you have Algorand as a blockchain and it had the capability to run Uber or other types of decentralized applications on top of it. When I heard Gary say this, it looked like he gave it a green light or a stamp of approval. So a lot of people got very bullish on Algorand. Now, since then, during the bear market, we had a massive crash. We're also going to dive into the price charts as well. Now, a few interesting facts about Algo, then I also want to play this other clip shared by Mason right here, is Algorand has a live central bank digital currency use case with the Marshall Islands. So that is live utility today. I know that the Marshall Islands is one of the smallest countries, but when I saw that go live back in maybe like spring of 2020, I instantly thought, wow, this is super legitimate and I'm excited for the future. Now, what's interesting about Algo is it was created by Silvio Micali. He's received a variety of awards and he's an MIT professor, so this man is an absolute genius. Now, the Algorand blockchain is the first one to use a pure proof-of-stake consensus mechanism. So in terms of proof-of-stake consensus, it's more secure, it's energy efficient, and it's a lot more decentralized than other consensus mechanisms such as proof-of-work. We know it's very fast, it's scalable, they talk about quantum resistance, leveraging state proofs to get states of other blockchain networks for interoperability. It's developer friendly with ALGO kit and a variety of different dev portals we'll go over. You can tokenize assets on top of Algorand, a lot of interesting features for sustainability, for central bank digital currencies, for the future of finance, all types of things. And there's a variety of partnerships. We'll go over the website. They tout that over 2,000 organizations leverage or partnered with Algorand. So we'll go over that and see, how much of it is actual utility and how much of it could be real utility in the future. And they have a lot of connections related to Circle, the firm, integrations with USDC, the stablecoin. We could talk about World Chess. We could talk about the, potential FIFA sponsorship and then also the drone racing league. And we also know that Algorand presents itself as the carbon negative or greenest blockchain in the space. Now, I'm not all about, the climate change initiatives and carbon credits, but it's an interesting narrative to keep in mind. Now, is the SEC really going to go directly after the ALGO Foundation? Keep in mind the founder is buddies with Gary Gensler. So for me, I could be way off. This seems very fishy. This is the man that won the Turing Award and basically founded zero-knowledge proofs. Every single legitimate project today is working on ZK proofs and other types of ZK scaling solutions. So let's play this quick clip and watch Gary name drop Algo again.
Bitcoin's now the currency that's hypothetically the Bitcoin or some crypto. Aline would tell us it would be some other crypto. Maybe it's Algorand or something.
And over the past few years, we have right here back in September of 2022, Anthony Scaramucci, part of Skybridge Capital, a $3.5 billion fund, publicly said he made a $250 million bet or $250 million bet on the Google of crypto Algorand. Remember, Anthony also published a book, The Genius of Algorand, Technical Elegance in the DeFi Revolution. We also have Arrington Capital launching a $100 million fund for the Algorand ecosystem. So just like Ripple, the company has tons of funding for the XRP ledger, just like Hedera and the HBAR Foundation right here allocated over $400 million and over 200 grants towards building on Hedera's hashgraph. It seems like Algorand is right up there with plenty of money backing it. Right on Algorand.com, we can see the block time of about 3.67 seconds. We can see over 30 million addresses and the transaction fee incredibly low. Now, at the end of 2022, Algorand also boosted their performance 5x in their latest upgrade. They increased the block size. They reduced the transaction size, making transactions smaller so you can fit more into a given block. And they also reduced the latency. The Algorand blockchain will be able to handle roughly 26,000 transactions per block at peak throughput, translating to 6,000 transactions per second. That's huge. We can keep tabs on some recent announcements. So what's also interesting is Algorand chosen as the public blockchain to support digital guarantees platform in Italy. So at the end of 2022, Algorand announced that they've been selected to be the public blockchain that will support an innovative digital guarantees platform in Italy for digital sureties. So we can see this should be operational in early 2023. To my knowledge, I haven't seen any recent announcements about this, so I don't think this is operational yet. Algorand is the only public blockchain that the digital sureties platform uses. And we've also seen Algorand name dropped in a few central bank documents, including the Bank of Italy selected Algorand to serve as its public blockchain platform. Due to launch early next year, 2023, to my knowledge, this is not yet launched. And this is the first time an EU member state uses blockchain tech for bank and insurance guarantees. We know there's some NFT ticket use cases with airlines for Algorand, and 60 other airlines are in exploration, not using it, but exploring using Algorand. So the startup TravelX is helping an Argentinian airline offer NFT tickets to its customers, and they call them NF tickets using Algo's blockchain, which integrates ticket-related rules into these smart contracts, likely representing the largest use case of utility NFTs we've seen. So I disagree with that. The largest enterprise deployment in history will be on Casper with patent records, because we know that 30% of the S&P 500 value, which is over $34 trillion in market value, 30% of that value is patents and intellectual property. But this is definitely interesting, and we have to keep an eye on this. And if you scroll down on Algorand.com, they say this right here under ecosystem as the technology of choice for 2,000 plus global organizations. The Algorand ecosystem is transforming the next generation of financial products, protocols, and exchange of value. So 6,000 TPS, 3.6 second settlement finality, keyword, pure proof of stake, decentralized, and carbon zero. But when you're looking for a layer 1, you want to see actual dApps, you want to see some TVL and DeFi, you want to see an NFT ecosystem, and Algorand does have all of that. They also have ALGO Kit under the developer portal. All the tools to build, test, and deploy an algo are now available all in one simple package, so you can install the kit. And they really do have a lot of large partners. Now, not financial advice, guys. I don't think this is the end of Algorand. I think this is just community sentiment as we're at a bear market low, but I can be wrong, so please do your own research. I'm personally holding and dollar cost averaging into my algo position currently, and I still see them building. Like they were speaking at Decipher a couple months back. We have the Algo Foundation announcing broad-reaching partnerships into India to grow their Web3 presence. Algorand will act as a tech partner for the new $50 million Global Climate Resilience Fund. And even just looking at the tokenomics, remember, this is a max supply. There's no inflation rate, so they are capped at a finite 10 billion tokens. So we're about 72% in circulation. So for the most part, compared to a lot of other projects that might have only 30% in circulation, the band-aid has been ripped off over this past cycle. And you can learn more about the Algo tokenomics and the distributions and the transparency report on the Algorand website and even on the Algo Foundation website. And read more about their allocation and distribution schedule, and also check out their latest transparency reports. And even looking at OMFIF, this is the official monetary and financial institutions forum, so we can go to the About page. And as we can see, a $43 trillion think tank. So this is a think tank for central banking, economic policy, and public investment. Central banks, sovereign funds, pension funds, regulators, and treasuries. And also remember that Algorand is part of OMFIF's DMI, the Digital Monetary Institute. So I do think that's a huge deal when you're alongside AWS, you're alongside companies like Ripple, Microsoft, IBM, Goldman Sachs, Accenture, huge for digital transformation, Meta, Facebook, Visa, MasterCard, etc. Now a few more things, guys, then we're going to dive into the price chart, so please stick around. So just last week, the SEC labeled Algorand and 5 other tokens as securities in the Bittrex lawsuit. For those that don't know, Bittrex is a crypto exchange. The SEC's complaint against Bittrex is that the platform failed to register with the watchdogs as an exchange broker-dealer or clearing agency. So it's always funny that the SEC encourages, exchanges and even crypto projects to come register with them, but they tell crypto projects, come register with us. But if you come talk to us, that's typically a sign you're a security, which is pretty hypocritical. They're following legislation and regulation from 1934, before the internet even existed, acting like that is gospel. We need new legislation. Remember that the SEC chair Gary said that everything in crypto is a security besides Bitcoin. So these 6 tokens were listed as securities, but ALGO being the largest market cap in this list. Where the chairman of the SEC of this organization called the network great technology that could support a ride-sharing service like Uber. Now remember, this is against Bittrex, the exchange. They have not, to my knowledge, announced any separate charges against the Algorand Foundation specifically. And also recall, it has been proven that the SEC employees were doing insider trading. So there's also an insider trading lawsuit right now brought against by the former Coinbase product manager. In quotes, they're making claims that tokens are securities without suing the actual tokens themselves. Now, I don't know if that insider trading lawsuit is referencing something else, but as we've shared previously, there was a lot of disputes and speculation about insider trading of SEC officials during the XRP lawsuit, having insider knowledge and actively shorting XRP. This is all stemming from the 77-year-old Howey test. In terms of Algorand, the SEC claims that the Algorand Foundation constitutes a common enterprise based on the not-for-profit organization's alleged role in conducting and promoting an initial token sale of ALGO in 2019. In promoting the ALGO token sale, the Algorand Foundation tied the potential growth of the Algorand blockchain to potential demand for the ALGO token itself, and to its own commitment to preserving a price floor for ALGO. Additionally, the SEC claims that statements made by Algorand and the network's foundation led ALGO investors to reasonably expect profit from ALGO. As of Monday, ALGO was available on Coinbase and Kraken, 2 of the largest US-based exchanges. But considering how the SEC's case has progressed so far, been said that a settlement is more likely as opposed to a ruling. In quotes, I think parties will settle and we won't get a final answer, and that's why the SEC is making these aggressive claims. The Algorand Foundation has been refuting the SEC claims as well. And I wanted to go over this thread as well, shared by Jumbo the Goat. Operation ALGO Now has just uncovered extremely comforting news for the ALGO family. Algorand CEO stated shortly before the June 19th token sale on crypto exchange CoinAll in Hong Kong per the SEC's filing document. In quotes, we will be holding our founders' tokens for the long term and will not be selling them. We will use our founders' tokens to support the ecosystem and encourage development. ALGO Foundation has never sold ALGO tokens to any US investors in the United States. This is the primary reason the SEC has not and will not directly go after Algorand and the ALGO Foundation. They have not at any point in time violated any US securities laws. Per the SEC vs. Library Coin ruling and the SEC's an open court admission, any secondary sales after the initial sell of a crypto security token are not considered securities any longer. Secondary sales are not securities. For this very reason is the reason Bittrex was the only entity sued. Bittrex was the first exchange to offer the ALGO token for sale to US investors via its international and US-based platforms in April of 2020. I'm super confused because Binance US is another US platform, and that's where I bought ALGO in 2019. We can see in 2019, Binance US can now trade ALGO. Coinbase added the ALGO token to its Coinbase trading platform even before Bittrex in August 2019. Okay, that makes sense. But only available to qualifying participants and regions. Coinbase offered the ALGO token to US investors for the first time in July of 2020 via the Coinbase main site and mobile applications, thus offering the ALGO token as a secondary sale, which is not a security. This is the only reason the SEC only filed the lawsuit against the exchange Bittrex. The exchange CoinAll was the very first exchange to list ALGO for sale in June 2019, but CoinAll is based out of Hong Kong and didn't sell to US investors. So rest assured, ALGO fam, that our ALGO Foundation and Algorand team are and have proven themselves to be more than competent with respect to tech, business, as well as US laws of business and beyond. And he goes on to say that he can unequivocally say that ALGO has not and will not be deemed a security token. And we can see just a couple days ago, the ALGO Foundation deployed 36 million ALGO to Algorand native lending markets, option vaults, and ALGO liquidity. The goal of this allocation is to contribute to ecosystem liquidity, support total value lock growth, and strengthen dApp's critical mass. So we see the project is active, they're funding, they're working on things. This is not a sign of a dying project. Now, could the SEC come after them and throw a huge wrench in the plans? Absolutely. Okay, big props to anybody that stuck around. I know that was a lot of information, but now let's dive into the fun stuff and look at the price charts. So first up, on the weekly Bitcoin price chart on Bittrex, which typically does have some liquidity, we have a huge open gap down here on the weekly time frame. So we can do a top-down analysis and go down to the daily, but you can see a giant gap where there have been no wicks or candle bodies. So no price action whatsoever between 22.4K all the way up to about 23.8. This is an open gap. Many analysts per gap theory believe that these gaps have a high probability to fill. Now, looking on the weekly time frame, looking at the 50 moving average, this can act as support oftentimes and resistance throughout a variety of cycles. So notice that this is an additional confluence around this open gap. As you can see, since 2015 acting as a double bottom for support, we can see acting as support in 2019 and the 2020 market bottom, and we thus recently broke past it. So do not be surprised if we do see this level hold as support. I know it's no fun watching pullbacks, but remember that Bitcoin did, from the low, just move 100%. So going back to the daily time frame, this is definitely a gap to keep an eye on. We can see we've almost come down to the 50 daily MA as well. Now remember, we had a previous CME gap that also closed, but we still have an open one down below, just around, we'll say 21K, but we have an open gap above, around 34,800. This is around the 382 Fibonacci retracement, and this open gap around 28K for Bitcoin was officially closed during this last impulse. So even just looking at this gap, I know we've been showing this a long time for the past year or so, from the high to the low, Bitcoin made it up to the 236 Fibonacci retracement. Around that 382, there was an open gap close to 35,000 for Bitcoin. Now we're going to dive into a bunch of price charts. We're going to compare what other assets have done thus far over the past 12 months compared to ALGO. So this is not financial advice. I simply want to show you where some assets are up 3x, 5x, or in Fetch AI's case, did a 10x from its November low. So looking on the weekly time frame, we have Algorand, a complete downtrend, has yet to break past any substantial levels. We have other alts like Fetch AI from the low, of course riding the AI hype wick to wick, did a 1000% move over a 10x. We have leaders in the market like Ethereum even pumping almost 140%, reaching the weekly pivot just like Bitcoin. So turning on the pivots really quick, and there is just so much information to go over. I could talk about this for like 2 hours, but I'll try to clip it up for you guys. Remember, Fetch AI already reached its R1 pivot. We even have Ethereum reaching its weekly pivot. Algorand's weekly pivot is still around that triple bottom around 67 to 72 cents. So that whole zone is definitely interesting long term. So I personally believe that ALGO will be fine. It's just going to take some time. That's not financial advice, and I'm really hoping the SEC does not officially come after ALGO. So let's go over ALGO's performance compared to other alts, look at fib levels, and show you that a variety have already hit this swing high around 44 cents. HBAR has hit this exact fib. XRP, Casper, a few others have already reached this level, and ALGO is still playing around down here, yet to even break 30 cents, let alone 44 cents. If we follow what HBAR, XRP, Casper, Bitcoin Ether much higher, this should be a 40 cent plus ALGO at the swing high. Notice that Ethereum also surpassed its previous high up there at the end of the year. And Fetch, of course, already blew past that level. Looking on the 5-day time frame with the 50 MA and the 100 moving average, we can see the XRP price chart broke out of this downtrend, retested the trend line, and reached its 100 MA on the 5-day. If we were to compare ALGO versus XRP, ALGO is yet to even break out of this downtrend. So if you're super bearish with ALGO, you're not happy with its price performance, I completely understand. I'm not either. We can see it is in a clear descending channel still, yet to break past. So just a sloppy trend line, ALGO is yet to break past this level, acting as resistance each time it hits this trend line. Still well below the moving averages, even Casper, just like XRP, broke out, retested the trend line, and has reached the 100 MA. And right now, that 100 moving average, where XRP, Casper, and a few others have hit, is right around 49 cents today, right there. And that would be surpassing its previous high, just like Casper already did. We can also see that XDC per this trend line hitting it multiple times, eventually broke out, retested, and then reached that 100 MA, just like Casper and XRP. And just comparing these structures as it's finding its bottom multiple times, that is what I'm comparing, or at least looking at and staying open-minded to for ALGO. Another confluence I've been watching is the 500 daily moving average compared to a variety of assets. So we can see that XTC has hit this level. We can also compare fibs using just the all-time high to the low and see where have we reached thus far. Where is ALGO compared to its all-time high? And keep in mind, we're just using the registered all-time high around 250. On certain exchanges, this wick went up to $5, but it was pretty illiquid. We can see that ALGO has tapped these levels, but not during an actual impulse to the upside. So that 11.8 level is 44 cents, equal to that swing high. And that 500 daily moving average is around 50 cents, just like the 5-day 100 MA, where a variety of assets like Casper, XRP, and XDC have already hit. So I thought that was interesting. And we can also see this high level right there is right around that 500 daily moving average. Now, personally, not financial advice, I believe that ALGO hits this 500 daily moving average, but I don't want it to take months and months. Otherwise, this MA is just going to keep coming down if ALGO has yet to get that pop. Even comparing XRP, it did the same thing that XDC did, and Casper. Look, from its all-time high, or at least the last cycle high, it reached the 11.8 and the 500 MA. ALGO has not. Casper has also hit that level. And although HBAR is yet to hit that 500 daily moving average, even using the previous all-time high, let's see the fib levels we've hit. We hit the 11.8s, just like Casper, XRP, and a variety. Super interesting. Meanwhile, ALGO is all the way down here, and just to compare fib levels, that's basically like Algorand all the way down here for the HBAR price chart. Now remember, UOS or Ultra, a gaming token, although it does have a smaller market cap, it was around and drawing a very similar shape and fractal that ALGO was also drawing. And we can see when they were both around 20 cents to 23 cents, Ultra got the pop from down here to the next fib level, still shy of the 11.8s. And just comparing ALGO to the daily, looking at fib levels, there's been a lot of projects, or even in the AI sector, that have already retraced up to the 236. And it's not just smaller caps or AI projects like Ocean, which is also a legitimate project. Ethereum and Bitcoin have already reached the 236 Fibonacci retracement. That 236 is interesting because it equates with the triple bottom all the way down here. So that is absolutely serving as resistance, and maybe I'm delusional because I hold a bag and I just want the retracement, but I believe that ALGO could very well be a laggard in this market. So I've experienced a couple crypto cycles, bull markets, bear markets, I've gotten a taste of it. And in my experience, there are leaders and laggards. Some of the leaders even start moving and retracing before Bitcoin, just like Fetch AI did a 10x. Bitcoin, yeah, it retraced a little bit, 100% up, getting some confirmation, which is great. And the altcoin market cap also broke out of some key levels, surpassing the weekly 50 MA. We typically don't do that in a bear market. We typically draw these structures before a bull run, or at least a market retracement. So we can go through a variety of alts, but per this level, there have been a variety of altcoins that have surpassed their previous end of 22 high, as we can see with Ocean. Now we have Algorand on the right-hand side, and we have XRP on the left. We can see the XRP came up to its 2021 lows up there, that double bottom. ALGO still has a triple bottom right there at the 236 Fibonacci retracement. So super interesting, and I am keeping an eye on this for this year. We can do the same thing with the Bitcoin price chart, had a triple bottom just like ALGO, actually impulsing and drawing waves all the way up to the previous resistance level. This is the 236, just like ALGO at the 236 near the triple bottom. So a variety of interesting confluences between Bitcoin, Ether, and a variety of altcoins. So this is something I'm watching, and I'm hoping, not financial advice, that ALGO is simply a laggard. The community sentiment is at an all-time low, and rightfully so, since, the all-time high and still being down 92% after coming up on 600 days. I get it. It hasn't been fun for me covering a variety of projects either. Now also, just to delete this, I want to show you some additional confluences and weekly pivots that I use specifically during the bull run, and really key levels that I want to see hit and then turn to support in order to get up to the next targets, is go to the weekly time frame and turn on the Fibonacci pivots. So if you guys are curious about the settings, all I have is Fibonacci as the type for the pivots, and I have auto, and then I just do 300, so we have a lot of sessions back for history. Remember, Fetch AI has already hit its R1, not even its pivot. We have Ether has also hit its pivot, surpassing its previous high. Algorand has done nothing. So am I crazy when I'm looking at this structure? I believe it's a bottoming structure, not financial advice, because it does look similar to a variety of bottoming structures we've seen for Ethereum, Bitcoin, and even some altcoins. So just remember, in a couple months, this price chart could be vastly different. We can see XRP has hit its weekly pivot, surpassing its previous high. We can see Casper has also reached its weekly pivot, getting some interesting wicks to the upside, surpassing its weekly high back in 2022, just like Algos is around 44 cents. So I know I'm showing a bunch of stuff, but really the 500 daily moving average is one confluence, the overall Fibonacci retracement levels is another confluence, the weekly pivot is another confluence, and the 5-day as well is another confluence where we add the 50 and the 100 MA. So just looking at these levels, I forgot to show that Bitcoin also reached that level, just like Casper, XRP, and XDC. Just a sloppy trend line right here. And let me get rid of some stuff. You can see hitting here, breaking through, and a back test. So this trend line is valid with 3 points of touching, impulsing, and kind of back testing this 50 MA and then reaching this 100. So looking at the moving average for ALGO, remember, this is around 49.50 cents today. If ALGO's price stays low, this will come down a bit more, but I do believe that this MA will be hit in the future, hopefully sooner than later. And it really depends how, you're looking at this trend line. Did we break out there? It sure doesn't feel like it. It looks like we're really just hitting these resistance levels. And this is not a perfect trend line by any means. It's more of an internal trend line. You can see almost breaking above here, faking me out, coming right back down, hitting it, additional resistance. So on other charts, I just have an alert set on this trend line and keeping tabs on this. And are we just trying to find our bottom for the ALGO price chart, or is ALGO really in trouble? Is the SEC going to come after the ALGO Foundation, and I'm going to regret holding ALGO? Now, as we shared a couple weeks ago, ALGO does still have an open gap around 16.3 cents, so we can see on the 30-minute time frame. Now, weekly and daily charts or higher time frame charts, the open gaps are a lot more interesting and valid, but I did want to share this open gap, so there is no price action whatsoever. So just map it out, and we can see I have alerts right there. Now, is it possible? Absolutely. Especially now that we're like 18, 19 cents. And we formed a triangle down here, and usually triangles are not reversal patterns, they can be continuation. So I'm really hoping we do not continue and do a measured move to the downside, because big picture, just drawing a fib just to point out a few things. We can see we've hit these fib levels as resistance, but remember that XRP, HBAR, Casper have reached the 11.8, which would be equivalent to 44 cents for ALGO. Bitcoin and Ether have reached the 236, also the weekly pivot, and their previous resistance down here, just like XRP. And then also going to the weekly, and turning on the weekly pivot, we can see that pivot is still right there, right on the 236 near that triple bottom where Bitcoin has already hit. So on the macro, I think this is interesting. I personally don't think that algo is done for, but anything can happen in this space. Please be safe, guys. We can look at the RSI. You can see we still don't have that bullish momentum. I just think the past week has been super fishy with Gary going after this and previously giving a stamp of approval for algo. It just doesn't add up. And I've been going through a variety of charts, drawing these structures, looking at the fib and using just the previous high. This is on the daily candle bodies. We've seen Curve reach the 702. We've seen XLM reach the 618. We saw XRP break and create a new high. We saw Casper break and create a new high up here. We saw HBAR impulse up to this level. We have Fetch AI also hitting the 11.8 just like algo, but it didn't play around here too much and impulsed all the way to the weekly pivot in its previous triple bottom, 1, 2, and 3. But maybe I'm just crazy because I hold a bag. I've just been scratching my head because it's not just Fetch. I have dozens of alts that have already reached their pivot, if not their R1, R2. I can show you a variety of altcoins that are up 3, 5, if not 10x or more, and there are other high caps starting to wake up. Bitcoin, Ether, XRP have already reached their weekly pivot and hit their previous lows in 2021. So I'm really hoping that algo can surprise us in the future, but please be safe, guys. We don't know what the SEC has planned. And last but not least, we have iTrustCapital linked in the pinned comment in the top of this video description. If you use the link down below and you fund your account, which is completely free, you'll get a $100 funding reward. I've been using this platform since January 2020 for 0% capital gains or tax-free trading and investing in crypto and precious metals. This is a $1 billion valued company. It is completely free. There are no monthly fees, hidden fees, or anything in between. There's just a 1% transaction fee if you trade. And they have some huge news regarding the Fortress integration, the 2.0 update. Fortress Trust Company, a state-chartered, bank-regulated, qualified custodian specializing in alternative asset custody. Furthermore, we're excited in the future to be able to introduce additional alternative assets like fractional real estate, private equity, and interest-bearing cash sweeps on FBO client USD positions, as well as recurring contributions and dollar cost averaging. So with this new integration, it looks like there's going to be a lot more crypto assets available in the future. Hope you enjoyed this video, guys. Huge thanks to all that like and sub. Let me know your thoughts down below. Be safe, and until next time. If you enjoyed this video, I'd greatly appreciate if you could hit the like button. Let me know your thoughts down below, and my link tree is linked in the top of this YouTube video description with all links, crypto resources, and discounts. I'll catch you in the next one.